Rick Santelli, what do you make of the bond market's response? I mean, there was some adjusting going on during the news conference when he was discussing how they will proceed with the tapering down the road. It sounds like we're in for a systematic month-by-month tapering for the foreseeable future, at least through 2014.
Down here we were saying Ben Lightyear, QE infinity and beyond. That's kind of the way they were describing it. I think the Treasury market gives you a very interesting look. Two-day charts is where it's at, Bill. Look at a two-day, 5, 10, and 30. Boatloads of volatility, basically at the same level or slightly higher rates than we were during the calm hours of yesterday's session. The only markets that really can't be shown that same dynamic on a two-day comparative chart are the British pound versus the dollar and, of course, the equities. Listen, this round goes to Ben Bernanke. He's going to finish on a high note. He has threaded the needle on calling $10 billion a taper instead of a T, okay? Stocks love it. There would be very little doubt in my mind that equities should be able to run right up for the rest of the year. What equity trader, what portfolio manager is going to challenge the notion of stocks going higher? What vested interest do they have not to put this money in their pockets? I think the real adjustments are yet to happen, and I think Dr. Doom has it pretty right when he said yesterday, QE forever, because you might taper it off a bit, but for the most part, it's still extremely large.
All right, let's bring in Steve Leisman, who's stepped outside now from the news conference there, and you asked the chairman about this holding record low rates well beyond the 6.5% unemployment rate possibility. I mean, were you expecting that? Are they just leaving their options open at this point?
Well, what I expected, I didn't think they needed or were going to use that particular tool right off the bat. My expectation, Bill, was that they would taper, see how the market reacted, and then use that tool later if it was needed. I think what Bernanke did is take out a little insurance on his taper, but he also provided maybe a little bit more guidance on the tapering than I expected as well. We did hear, in response to my question, the idea of, sounds like $10 billion a taper, equally matched between mortgage-backed and treasuries over and pretty much ending towards this year. And then we also heard that the Fed funds rate probably remaining near zero through 2015. So we got a lot of guidance, a lot of sense of things being low, and we were kind of talking about why the market rallying so much. It's interesting that essentially the bond market is unchanged. They seem to anticipate this. Not sure the equity market was listening to or paying attention to the same things.